Good morning and welcome to the Ask Geeky Girl show. My name is Angela Mondor and I'm also known as the Geeky Girl. I help stuck and stressed out entrepreneurs to have more fun in their business so they can attract their perfect clients. And this week we are still talking about blogging. I am so excited to share with you some really cool stuff today. It is super true that lots of people don't blog, and they don't blog because they think it's because of certain reasons. Now, I'm going to share some stuff with you today, and you're going to either be surprised by what I'm going to share with you, or it's not going to surprise you at all. However, you're going to feel better because you'll know how to do what it is you want to do, which is blogging. And you want to blog so that you can get people to your website, you can create new content for them, and that you can, of course, generate more traffic, which means more potential clients. So I'm just sharing this out right now, and once I'm done that, I will get to the meat of what is happening today. So if you are here, say hello, give me a thumbs up, and also let me know, what do you think is stopping you from blogging? I want to know what your reasons are. And if you're here on the replay, please make a comment below. What is stopping you from blogging? That's what I would like you to tell me. It's interesting to hear why people think they aren't blogging. And so I'm interested to know, what is it that's keeping you from blogging? Today we are going to be talking about why you aren't blogging regularly, and of course I'm going to help you fix that, because that's what I want to do. I want to provide you some value. I want you to give you some takeaways so that you can get out of this something really important for your business and moving you forward. All right, so let's get to it. Today, here, of course, like I said, we're talking about your blogging and why you aren't blogging regularly. And there's lots of different reasons why people don't blog regularly. There's so many at the end of the day. However, I'm really convinced that there's only actually two real good reasons. And one of the reasons why is planning, and the other reason is know-how. Those are really the only two reasons that could possibly stop you from blogging. Now, there's other reasons. People will say, well, I just don't have time for it, right? Maybe, there's just not enough time in the day. However, I want you to think about this. We make plans every day, and we choose how we spend our time. Everybody has the same 24 hours. So I want you to think back the last couple of days. What is it that you have done in the last couple of days? And then think back and go, what do I think I didn't have time for? And if you look at what you've actually done and what you made time for, because everything you did, you made time for that. And then on the flip side, what was it that you didn't think you have time for? Now look at those two things. Maybe there's a few things that you made time for that you didn't need to. Maybe it was busy work, or maybe it was extra time watching a TV show or a video or something that you didn't need to watch, or that took up too much of your time. We've all done it. I've done it. So there are the excuses, and this is just one of them. Not having time for it. You just need to make time for it. It's important to your business, and so making time for it is making time for your business. Now, some people say, I don't know what to write about. Now, as much as that's true, maybe you don't know what to write about it. However, planning is actually going to solve this problem. Now, I talked about this a while back in the Boost Your Website Traffic with these 5 tips for your blog. So if you didn't see that, or if you want to go check that one out, that one is going to help you with figuring out what to write about. It's all about planning and how you can figure out what it is topic-wise that you can speak on. And if you go through that video or the blog post that's associated with it, you'll never be left without things to speak about. And that's what's important. Understanding what it is that you want to talk on. Create that plan so that you know what you're talking about. And the thing is that, you can always have ideas. Ideas are awesome. And like I said, once you create that plan of action, the creative juices will continue to keep flowing. Now, You might also be saying, well, you know, too many people are already talking about my topic. Well, this is actually a good thing. And the other piece of this is that if you think about, let's look at the last time that you got a new car, or maybe, something's happened in your life. There was a particular moment. I know this happens to a lot of women when they get pregnant. They all of a sudden look around and they're like, oh my God, everybody's pregnant. You get a new car and you're like, oh my God, everybody owns the same car that I do, or the same color of car that I do. It's what you focus on you see the most of. Your audience is not focused on your topic the way you are. This is your passion. So of course you're going to see more of everything. And so don't think that your audience is doing as much research as you are, because they're not. And the other piece to it, hello Maureen, nice to have you here. The other piece to this is that when you think about a lot of people talking about your topic, that is proof in the marketplace that people are actually reading about this, or that people are actually consuming this kind of content. And that's good for you to know that you have proof in your marketplace that people are going to be wanting to read about your topic. So don't worry about that as much. So, people talking about your topic is a good thing. And your audience, they're waiting for you to tell them about it, because they're not doing the research. That's your job. You're the leader, and they're the follower. You might think, well, I'm not an expert yet. And people get stuck in this for a long time. You could let yourself be stuck in this for as long as you like, because you'll never be the expert that you want to be, because you're always wanting to be a better expert. Now, think about some of the people that you are following that are the leaders in your industry in your eyes. Of course, you're not as good as them because you're looking up to them. You want to be like them. Now, hopefully, they're doing their due diligence and they're going to continue to grow. And as they grow, you grow because you're learning from them. Guess what? Your followers, they're doing the same. You're only a couple steps ahead of them, and that's okay, because those other people are only a couple steps ahead of you. And this is how this works. The people will continue to learn and grow as they follow you. So don't worry so much about whether you're the expert you expect to be, because you're never going to be as good as you want to be. You'll always continue to grow. And that's one thing about being an entrepreneur. We're constantly in a state of growth. So continue to grow. Continue to surround yourself with the other experts in your industry so that you can continue to grow and get better for your followers. You only need to be a couple steps ahead of them. That's all that matters. Maybe you say, I'm not a good writer. That's something else people say. In fact, I say it all the time, and I really need to stop that. Change the story in my head. Change the record, so to speak. And I used to, I constantly say, I'm not a good writer. I'm not a good writer. I've written a book. I'm learning how to write. I'm getting better at writing every day. And I wasn't as good in 2009 when I started writing my blog as I am today. And I'm going to be even better next year. When I look back this year, I'm going to say, wow, I've grown. I mean, if you don't take, if you want to see what I've done, I've left it up there on purpose, because people tell me this all the time, that they're not really good. And you can go to my blog and look back on 2009 and you can see how I was writing back then. Completely different than how I write today. And so grow with it. Enjoy the growth process. And don't worry about being perfect, because we're never going to be perfect. There is no perfection. There's only our best. So the whole concept of practice makes perfect, it will be the best that it can be. And the only way you're going to get better is to continue to do it. So you have to practice. And in order to practice, you have to do. So go out there and start doing. So are you done making excuses? Because that's what these are. They're all just excuses as to why we're not blogging as much as we should or can or want to. So if you're done, it's time to get started. The number one thing to do is you want to plan out your content, and then you want to book the time in your calendar to get it done. Remember, those are the two things that are holding us back. Planning and booking the time, right? We want to book the time. Okay, so the know-how is the piece that I talked about. The fact that the planning was the one thing, and then the know-how's the other. So in this know-how piece, I'm going to give you the tools so that you also have the know-how. So you can get past the blocks of what to talk about and when to talk about and how to blog. And then I'm going to give you the how-to so that you don't have anything else standing in your way. By the time you're done reading this, going through this, you will have the opportunity to have all the tools in your toolbox, okay? So I'm going to talk about the anatomy of a perfect blog. Are you ready for this? You need a captivating title. This is important. When you've gone to a bookstore, perhaps you've gone to a library, and you've looked at all the books on the shelf, chances are it was a title that grabbed your eye. And the same thing's going to be true for your blog post. Your audience has a ton of things to read, and you want them to grab a hold of your title and say, oh, that's something that I want to read. So think about your title as the title of a book. Great content is always important. You know, the title of the book will get you so far, but you want people to actually read the content. So you want to make sure that you are answering questions that your audience is looking for and that you're giving them helpful information as well. Once you decide on your topic, you have to do research. Make sure that you're giving them the most beneficial information, that it is industry standard information, that it is current and up-to-date information for your reader. Those are some things that are important to think about. You might need to do some research before you do your post, and that depends on what kind of post you're writing. If you're writing from information that you have inside your head, you still need to do the research to make sure that you are on point with the kind of information that your audience is needing and looking for. And again, there are amazing ways to get that information. Your layout matters. Oh, it matters. It matters a ton. You want to make sure that when you're writing a blog post, it isn't just all words. People can't do that. Think about the last time you've been on a website. If you clicked on a website and it was just a whole bunch of words, your eyes get overwhelmed, and it's difficult for you to focus on what it is that you're reading. So break it up. Make headings with information underneath the headings and subheadings, and break it up with bolding and change it so that there's line breaks in between everything so that people have the ability to skim. It's true. It's important for your reader to be able to skim through your content. Check out the hiccups. So when they skim through the content and they see those headlines or they see the bolding, they can grab the information about the post without having to read each and every word. That's really important. There are times when they will read an entire paragraph because they want to learn exactly what it is, but there's other pieces that they want to skip over, and that's how the headings will help them. They will actually get more information and they'll enjoy your blog post much more if they have the ability to do that. So layout matters in your blog post 100%. Now, your eye-catching image is also important, and some people put an image right at the very top of the blog post. Some people put images throughout the blog post. It doesn't matter which one you choose. Just remember that that eye-catching image that you're going to use for your blog post, you want that to be the one that they share when it goes over to social media, because that image is going to make all the difference between somebody clicking and not clicking on your particular post. So that eye-catching image is really, really important, especially for when you are sharing that image, or sharing the blog post out to social media and through your other channels as well. Now, search engine optimization, you know how important that is. I spent a whole week talking about that last week. So if you missed that, the series is still here on Facebook, and you can go through and look at those ones that we talked about last week. But it is an important aspect to your blog because it'll help you generate organic traffic, which is free traffic, and free traffic from search engines is just as good as paid traffic from search engines. And you can do it absolutely free if you spend the time doing the SEO. So time and money, it's the same thing. You can spend time in doing this and putting your money towards other things. But your search engine optimization is really important, and it'll help generate extra traffic. It'll bring people to your blog post so that they will be able to get the content out of your blog post that you want them to, and you can help to give them that information and build a relationship with them. So it's time to start blogging regularly. It's time to get out there and start blogging, because we're now past all the excuses. We know what it is that we wanted to do and what's holding us back, but you now have the tools. You now have the planning tools in order to create and plan the great content for your blog, and you've blocked off the time in your calendar, right? I know you haven't done it yet, but all you have to do is sit down and write out a plan. I usually do this once a month. At the end of the month, I'll plan out my next month's worth of content. I lay out what the topics are that I'm going to be talking about, and then I never am left with wondering, what do I write about? Geez, it's time to write. Oh my gosh, what am I going to write about? I'm not worried anymore because I look at my plan. I know exactly what it is that I'm going to cover. So you're ready to go. And I gave you the how-tos. I gave you the layout of the perfect blog post so that you don't have to worry about how you want to lay this out. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to create a blog post. I want you to go out there and do it on your blog. Create an amazing blog post and come back here. All right? Come back here. Tell me about your experience and leave me a link to the blog post. And then everybody else who sees this can also join in, and they can come visit your blog, and you can go back and visit some of theirs as well. Let's help each other out. Share the information, and I want to see you blog regularly. Okay, if you have any extra questions, let me know. Leave a comment below if you have a question. And of course, I also want to see your latest blog post so that we can share and grow together. Hope you have an amazing day. And tomorrow we are going to be back and we're going to be talking about those images. Remember we talked about those eye-catching images earlier? Tomorrow we're going to be talking about those in depth. And I look forward to sharing Friday morning with you. So I'll be back at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Thank you so much and have an amazing day. Bye now.